Real Virginia is proudly produced by the Virginia Farm Bureau Federation. Since 1926, Farm Bureau has been working to preserve Virginia farms and our rural heritage. Visit our website at vafb.com.
Hello everyone and welcome to Real Virginia, a show about Virginia agriculture and the people who produce the wonderful local products we enjoy. Brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau. There's a new breed of cattle in the Old Dominion. Summer squash is a perennial garden favorite. And we visit Scott County for our regular county agricultural close-up feature.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Welcome back to Real Virginia, everyone. We're coming to you this week from a cattle farm in Goochland County. There are many kinds of cattle across the Old Dominion. Norm HYDE reports one cattleman is hoping to add a new breed to that list.
Cattle have been raised in Virginia since the colony was founded, and today beef cattle are the second largest sector of the state's farm economy. You can find numerous breeds and many crossbred cattle in Virginia, and now one Pittsylvania County cattleman has set his sights on something new.
Our motto for Golden Leaf Speckled Park is dare to be different, and that's essentially what you've got to do.
Bob Harris and his wife Crystal took that leap in 2003 when they bought his great-grandfather's tobacco farm. They began transitioning it into a cow-calf business, specializing in a lesser-known breed of cattle in Virginia, Speckled Park.
We like to tell people it's Wagyu beef at regular beef prices. When I get commercial cattlemen out here that are looking at Speckled Park bulls, especially if they're into the retail beef business, I don't try to sell them the bull. All I do is I give them some beef to try. And usually 9 times out of 10, when I give them a couple of steaks to try, they come back and buy a bull.
Beef has always been a favorite meat among Americans, but consumption and sales have dropped in recent decades due to higher prices and changing tastes.
It's what you call spoiled rotten cows.
To recapture the market and the attention of consumers, cattlemen like Harris focus on raising higher quality beef cows, like Speckled Park.
This breed of cattle was starting to be developed back in the 50s up in Canada by a couple named Bill and Eileen Lamont. And it was the basis of the breed was Aberdeen, Angus, Shorthorn, and White Park. And then they would just keep all the speckled calves, and they just kept breeding back and breeding back. In 2006, they closed the herd book, and they were officially recognized by Canada as their own unique breed. Since then, they have taken Australia by storm. Australia's probably got the best genetics in the world right now outside of Canada. They have probably the most Speckled Park animals in the world at this time. I ain't got no more, come on. Most of my cattle that I have now were started from embryo transfer. Basically, I took the commercial cows that I had and used them as surrogate mothers. I bought embryos that were purebred, and we used my cows as surrogate mothers, and that's how I started. Now I've actually gotten some cattle this year that are carrying the Golden Leaf Speckled Park. They were actually cattle that I bred up.
Harris says the breed adapts very well to a wide range of climates, including Virginia's hot and humid summers.
Speckled Parks can be solid white. They can be solid black, but that black front half with the white stripe down their top and the white hind quarter, that's the most preferable color pattern. That's the true speckled color pattern. The American Speckled Park Association, which I'm president of, the Canadian Speckled Park Association, and the Australian Speckled Park Association have entered into a global agreements of sorts where we're sharing information backwards and forwards. But part of that agreement is we're going to keep the breed standards high. We're not going to open the herd book back up. We're going to keep the breed pure. We've got a special breed here. We've got something special on the plate, and we want to keep it that way. That little guy right there, he's about 3 weeks old. The genetics are where my passion is. I like breeding different cattle and seeing what I come up with. I like growing the best bulls that I can and shipping them off across the states and helping other people start the Speckled Park breed. That little white calf looking at you right there with the blue ear tag, he's going to Texas.
It's too soon to tell if Speckled Park will become as popular as other purebred cattle in Virginia.
I'm not trying to push myself on anybody else. On the same token, I'm really interested to see in 10 years how many people in Virginia will be using Speckled Park cattle. I believe in the breed, I believe in the merits of the breed, and I think once it catches on, you're going to start seeing speckled cattle all up and down the Virginia corridor.
But if good taste is any indication, Harris is confident they are the future of the retail beef market here. In Pittsylvania County, I'm Norm Hyde reporting. Beef is beef for many consumers, but cattlemen know different breeds of cattle play a vital role in their business. Certain animals have been specially bred for good-tasting meat, like Angus. Others are valuable because they're known to give birth easily. Dairy farmers have several popular breeds. Of course, Holstein cows are among the most prolific milkers. There are even heritage cattle breeds that date back hundreds of years, such as milking Devon cattle. This breed was known for excelling both as a milk and draft animal, both valuable traits for early colonists.
Hi, today we're going to be talking about summer squash from the ground up. Please stay tuned.
We're stronger together, especially at this difficult time. For over 90 years, we've watched our membership grow, and we're honored to be part of such a special community. Thank you to the farmers who provide for us every day. Virginia Farm Bureau is proud to serve our members, their families, and to give back to our local communities. That's the Farm Bureau way.
It's summer squash season. Chris Mullins with Virginia Cooperative Extension shows us how easy it is to raise this prolific vegetable from the ground up.
Well, hello and welcome. Today we're at Fauquier Education Farm. We're here with Mr. Jim Hankins, the Executive Director of the farm. Jim, thanks for letting us come out today. We are going to be talking about summer squash. Now, I love to eat summer squash. I love all the zucchini squash. Is it a good, though, garden crop for the home gardener?
Oh, absolutely. You know, even the most inexperienced gardener can be successful at summer squash. There's just a few little things that you need to know. It's one of our staple, really important crops. Okay. Summer squash come and go pretty quickly.
Okay.
Meaning that, I can put them in. It's not going to last me the whole summer long.
Right, right.
It's incredibly easy to keep planting a few more plants. I do multiple plantings about 3 weeks apart to stay in production all the way into October.
Oh, okay. So you're planting, so that kind of keeps you away from the bugs, if bugs or disease problems find you?
Yes, anybody who has planted summer squash knows about squash bugs and squash vine borers. Okay. And yes, I could try to control with pesticide, but it would take an awful lot of pesticide. The easier, more earth-friendly way to do it, by planting a few more plants every 3 weeks, I get these plants in full production before the bugs start causing some problems. Then I want to take the plants that are disease-ridden and take them out of the garden. But like I said, and squash seeds are great big seeds. Okay. Any 3-year-old child can push them a ½ inch deep in the soil. You don't have to buy seedlings. Direct seeding works really well.
Okay. So you can keep everything going just by putting seeds in the ground directly? Don't have to buy transplants, which might be hard to find later on in the season.
Absolutely. And, one thing that you do want to do, you don't want to put the new one right next to the one that's already got a lot of squash bugs. You want to put it a little farther away. Paying attention to what varieties you're using. Buying the cheapest seeds will give you the cheapest variety or the cheapest results. Right. There are really, really good varieties out there, some great hybrids. Right. It's a wonder. I'm like you. I eat an awful lot of squash during the summer.
It's great. I've talked to home gardeners before, and they'll tell me things like, it seems like my plant just stopped producing fruit. Any tips for them to help, that they might help them?
One thing that's really important is that you need to keep the fruit picked. Whenever you're allowing your zucchinis to make those great big 40-pound, monsters that nobody wants, that plant has done what it needs to do. It's made mature seeds, so it'll start shutting down. So even if you can't give it away, pick the fruit as, at the right stage rather than letting it get big. It's got to have full sun, and they like a bit of water on the really, on the dry days. You'll see the leaves wilt a little bit when it gets over 95 degrees.
Right.
That doesn't mean the plant is dead. They'll wilt even with a lot of watering. It's just heat stress.
I gotcha. Well, overall, it sounds like a great plant for the home gardener to grow. And you've really got some great examples here, some really nice varieties.
Yep.
Looks wonderful, Jim. Thanks again for letting us come out today.
Absolutely.
Well, for more information about growing summer squash, contact your local county extension office and talk to a master gardener. For From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.
From the Ground Up is presented with the generous advice and assistance of Virginia Cooperative Extension. Visit their website at ext.vt.edu.
Coming up on Heart of the Home, grilled peaches with goat cheese and pecans and spicy honey. Stay tuned.
And now, a sneak peek into a day in the life of a Virginia dairy cow. They get their day started. They have some lunch. Get some exercise. Spend time with their friends. And then end their day with dairy sweet dreams. Real dairy, real life, real delicious.
Peaches are a sweet summertime treat, but have you tried them on the grill? Chef Tammy Brawley shows us how grilling is not just for meat, in the heart of the home.
Hi, I'm Chef Tammy Brawley from the Green Kitchen. Welcome to Heart of the Home. Today I'm going to show you guys a delicious summer recipe to use those ripe peaches that are coming in. And we're going to start with some pecans. I love using pecans. The recipe does call for them to be chopped, but I prefer to leave them in kind of the half because I just feel like they give a little bit more texture. But we do want to toast them. And what we're going to do is we're going to put them in a 350-degree oven for about 5 minutes or so. And while they're toasting, we're actually going to grill some peaches. Hang tight. All right, we've got a grill pan here that we're going to warm up. We're going to spray some olive oil on the pan. And then you're going to take your peaches. You're going to cut them in half. We're going to do a couple. Our burner is warming up nicely. You can see the ripples of the olive oil there. Now you want to put them cut side down on your grill pan. You can hear them sizzling. What we're looking for is just some nice grill marks on the peaches. You want to get them when they're somewhat firm. You don't want them to be terribly ripe because then they'll fall apart where they're cooking. So a little firm is good for these. While they're picking up the grill marks, our pecans are in the oven toasting. Turn my heat down just a bit. I love to grill fruit. I love to grill vegetables. One of my first experiences was grilling carrots many, many years ago. When you grill, it just brings out the natural sweetness of the product. In this case, we're using the nice summer ripe peaches. And if they're too firm, you kind of want them to be a little fork tender before you pull them out. If they are too firm, you could actually pop a lid on this, sprinkle in a little water, and the steam will help get them a little softer. Now, you really do want to keep an eye, too, on your nuts that are in the oven, okay? They're on 350 degrees right now, and they will get away from you pretty quickly. So you want to make sure you kind of have a timer going. Maybe set your Alexa if it's something that you use. And then pull your nuts out. You don't want to walk away from them. I cannot tell you how many times I've actually walked over to the trash can and thrown some burnt nuts away. So we want to keep an eye on those as well. All right. So while that second side is getting a little brown, I'm going to go check the nuts in the oven. The nuts need about 2 more minutes or so. So in the meantime, we can come back and check the peaches. All right, they are ready. I'm going to go ahead and turn the burner off. All right, how pretty is that? Now, you're going to come back And we're going to dollop this with some goat cheese. I love the tanginess of a goat cheese with it. I would pretty much probably stay with goat cheese. You might could do some creme fraiche, which is just a highly whipped cream. I love the color of this. Absolutely beautiful. All right, now we're going to check those pecans again. They're probably ready. A little browner than they were when they went in the oven. Now I know that they're hot, but I'm going to go ahead and do this anyway. Us chefs have what we call asbestos hands. We can pick up anything hot. Go ahead and just sprinkle those right on there. Probably more than we need, but I don't think you can have too much. And now here is the icing on the cake. We've got some delicious spicy honey. My favorite flavor profile as a chef is sweet and spicy together. And these nice grilled peaches have picked up a nice sweetness from being grilled, and then the tanginess of the goat cheese and the crunch of the pecans. And now you just want to come back with some delicious honey. Doesn't have to be spicy honey. This is just my favorite way of doing it. There's some great local honeys out there made here in Virginia. Wonderful summer appetizer there, or a side dish with, say, maybe perhaps some grilled chicken or a grilled pork chop. Grilled summer peaches with pecans and goat cheese and honey. I'm Chef Tammy Brawley from the Green Kitchen. Join us next time on Heart of the Home.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafb.com/recipes, as well as on Chef Tammy Brawley's website at greenkitchenrichmond.com.
Peaches are just one of many Virginia fruits that are in season right now. Strawberry season is over, but blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries are all summer fruits that are raised on bushes or canes. Cantaloupes and watermelons are vine-based fruits that hit their peak in late summer. Asian pears and nectarines are available at a few farmers markets or orchards. Grapes are harvested in late summer, although most Virginia grapes are raised to make wine. And apples are a major fall crop. Apples have one advantage over most other fruits. With refrigeration, they can be stored for months.
Tobacco sales used to be a vital part of the economy for many Virginia rural communities. In this week's County Agricultural Close-Up, Burke MOELLER reports that the farmers of Scott County have adapted to changing times.
Located in southwest Virginia, Scott County is rich in agriculture and history. But to get the full experience, you have to go off the main roads. And if you want to go off-road, you can start by riding a gondola in Natural Tunnel State Park. Created by a fault line, a creek, limestone, and chemical erosion, the 850-foot-long tunnel has a train track that's carried agriculture, coal, and passengers since the 1890s. Agriculture and country music have a special relationship, and fans will want to stop by the Carter family fold. Locals call it the birthplace of country music. This is where A.P. Carter, Sarah Carter, and Mother Maybelle worked on early songs that were recorded in nearby Bristol. June Carter Cash and husband Johnny stayed at this house nearby when they lived here. During that time, Scott County was known as a tobacco county until federal government tobacco programs ended in 2004.
Tobacco at one point in time was a little over a $10 million crop in the county. Now it's less than $250,000. So in essence, over the past 20 years, we have lost $9.5 to $9.75 million worth of agricultural income just from tobacco alone. And the challenge is, how do you recuperate from that? How do you make up that type of loss? And some of the things that we have looked at is value-added beef cattle production. We're using programs such as the Virginia Quality Assurance, trying to get every extra dollar we can from those cattle that are being properly raised and vaccinated.
One of the key players in Scott County's agricultural economy is the Appalachian Harvest Food Hub. Like other hubs of its kind, workers here are committed to being a safe and reliable broker where farmers can bring products and workers ensured they are stored and processed safely before going on to retailers. Robbins and her staff don't just work with farmers in the area, they also partner with other nearby food hubs to help their communities and growers succeed financially.
Sustainability has to be how we behave as a collective. That's from the farmer to the food hubs, to the food banks and the grocers, how we participate collectively to make the food system successful. And in your collective impact, it's going to be much broader than your individual impact.
Much of Scott County is forest land. Robbins and her staff are working with landowners to produce syrup from walnut trees in the county. Cattle, sheep, and goats are also prominent livestock in Scott County. Darrell Jeter has lived here his whole life. He's currently raising goats on his property in the southern end of the county and has seen an increase in the number of people moving in.
It's a rural county, and people like to be out on their have their privacy and stuff, and that's mainly the reason people's moving in here. And the tax rate is lower than it is in a lot of other places, and they can come in and buy land a lot cheaper than they can in some of the big towns and far out.
Scott County has 1,138 farms, covering 125,354 acres. The market value of all agricultural products is $15,558,000 each year. 75% of that is from livestock, poultry, and other products, while the other 25% comes from crops. Hay brings in $2,049,000, while vegetables, melons, potatoes, and sweet potatoes account for $1,215,000. For livestock, cattle and calves bring in $10,944,000. Sheep, goats, and milk bring in $283,000. As in many other parts of Virginia, farmers and other producers are taking to agritourism to boost their revenue. Patrick Johnson and his family are cultivating their land for the upcoming harvest season. He's lived in Scott County all his life and has seen the transition from tobacco to other crops.
Well, me personally, I think it's going to come back more focused on vegetables and people being able to large vegetables to where things that we see as far as produce-wise may come back more to the small farms. We're seeing more and more people that are looking for fresh off the farm produce and meat, not just cattle, but even chicken and pork. They're looking for that right fresh off the farms.
Garland and Sheila Nash are former tobacco producers who have turned to operating a creamery. They opened during the pandemic, and while their milk is pasteurized, it's not homogenized, leaving a product that's thicker and creamier.
Part of our reasoning for setting up the creamery was that something small could make a impact and also be profitable. And we kind of wanted to prove that you didn't have to be big, you didn't have to have a 250 or 1,000 cow operation in order to have a successful venture going.
The people of Scott County are finding new ways to succeed in agriculture while preserving the history and the natural wonders that make living and working here unique. In Scott County, Virginia, I'm Burke MOELLER reporting.
We're so glad you could join us this week to celebrate all the bounty Virginia has to offer. From the kitchen to your home and garden to our beautiful wide open spaces, we are proud to say that this is Real Virginia. For everyone from the Virginia Farm Bureau, thanks for watching. Make it a great week.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
Spending time outdoors has never felt more valuable. Whether it's exploring nature or relaxing in your yard, let's do it responsibly. Before going out, check for closures and fire restrictions. Practice social distancing, even when outside and on the trail. Back at home, if burning yard debris, keep your pile small. And no matter where you are, be sure to properly extinguish any outdoor fire. Drown, stir, drown, feel. We're all in this together. Help keep our safe places safe.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good stir. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We have 37 parks across the Commonwealth. Every year, 10 million visitors enjoy 600 miles of trails from beaches to mountains, hundreds of cabins and campsites, even yurts. We are Virginia State Parks.
Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Bye-bye. Get home safe.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.